it's interesting to see how me, an American, views communism and capitalism compared to a Vietnamese person. Sometimes you'll hear an American use the word communism as like a dirty word, and to a Vietnamese person, capitalist is a dirty word. It's like when somebody's talking about America, they're like, America's really cool, but you guys are too capitalist. The basic tenets that the Vietnamese people have been following is that they want to help each other out. They want to be good people, and they hope that the government can help them do that. Sometimes they see that there is some corruption in that, but they don't really support a government where we just try and get as much as we possibly can, and then don't really leave anything for the next person or give to the next person. So the way that it was really interesting to me just to see how these governmental systems were viewed by a different culture. They're officially socialist. They were communist for a while. The Communist Party is over Vietnam, but they are a socialist nation. The governmental system is really different. I remember the first way I actually experienced it was when I went to Burger King, like during my first week in Hanoi, and I didn't know how much taxes I was paying when I bought something because it's not listed. It's included in the prices, so you don't actually know how much is going to the government. But there's a lot more governmental presence in Vietnam in how they run their country. There's a lot of ceremonies. There's also a lot of policemen, and I don't feel like I fully understand how socialism or communism would affect their country. Fully, I feel like that's something I'm still trying to understand. One thing to note is that Vietnam's economy is currently growing very rapidly, and I think that as their economy continues to grow, then we'll be able to see clearer what effects, for good or for bad, that the current governmental system will have on that. My personal perspective on communism and capitalism. I guess under capitalism, you do have the ability to be creative. You can follow your own ideas and express those things, and to grow your own business and take all the rewards from that. And I see that under socialism, there is more of an obligation to give back to the people around you and help others out, so that not only you are successful, even though you'd be less successful, but that also other people would have a chance to do the same. While the government didn't support people like actively proselyting or anything like that, I saw that people did find ways to express their freedoms in other ways. Like people would build, the Christians, they would build manger scenes and leave them in their shop window at Christmas time. And the Buddhist people would have their family shrines at the front of their business. I thought it was really cool how devoted the Vietnamese people were, even though some things were against the law for them to do. There were people who supported communism and there were people who didn't. But mostly I felt like people liked the government, but they didn't like the possibility of corruption, or if they saw any corruption, then they didn't support that. So I think that the Vietnamese people supported their governmental system, but also understood that it is something that could be corrupted. So let's say there was a missionary of some church who was out proselyting. I'm not sure exactly what would happen, and I could guess what would happen. If that person was of a foreign country, they'd probably be deported. If it was a native person, I'm not sure what actions the government would take, but I don't believe it would be severe.